We begin in a quiet countryside where firefighters were safely burning down an old house as part of a planned training. A TikTok user started recording the fire, but then something strange showed up in the video.
No, better not be.
Brandon and Logan better be out there. We're out. Oh, I'm out. Yeah, hey, Graham and Autumn, y'all get out.
A dark, human-shaped figure moved quickly through one of the rooms filled with flames. If you look closely, it runs across the burning space and disappears in seconds. What was that?
Oh, I'm out. Yeah, hey, Graham and Autumn, y'all get out.
Some people believe this could be a spirit or ghost that was pushed out by the fire. Others say it's just smoke, falling wood, or our brain trying to see shapes in random things. The fire looks scary, but this moving figure is what really grabs attention. It's surprising how clear the shadow looks. Houses like this often have a long history filled with stories. This place might have held secrets no one knew about. Could it be that these controlled burns sometimes reveal strange things we normally can't see? Or maybe our minds just want to find human shapes in messy scenes. One thing that makes this more interesting is the fire crew. They always check that the building is empty before starting the burn. No one should be inside walking around. Maybe it's just a trick of light and shadow. But honestly, it feels like something more chilling is going on here.
Oh, I'm out. Yeah, hey, Graham and Autumn, y'all get out.
This next clip is really creepy. A woman recently shared a strange moment she had while standing on her back deck one evening. It was so shocking that she said she wouldn't have believed it if the security camera hadn't recorded her reaction. In the video, she's just looking at her phone, and her dog is happily running after a ball in the yard. Everything looks completely normal, until suddenly, it's not. Out of nowhere, she quickly turns around, clearly shocked, and screams. She said she felt a light tap on her shoulder and then heard a voice that gave her goosebumps. What's weird is that the footage doesn't show anyone or anything near her at all when this happened. But her real and honest reaction is hard to ignore. Could this be something unknown? Or maybe there's a simple reason behind what happened that night. This mystery is making people think and share different ideas online. But now we want to know, what do you think really happened in that backyard? It started like any other quiet night, but what followed was anything but normal. A TikTok video shared by a user named Sushi Palace took the internet by surprise. In it, we see footage from a Ring doorbell camera, but it's not the visuals alone that disturbed people. It was the story behind them. The uploader's father lives in a normal apartment building, but for some reason he kept waking up at exactly 2 a.m. every night. The sound of doors slamming echoed through the hallway, loud, sudden, and unnatural. At first he tried to ignore it, but it kept happening, night after night. And soon it became clear something wasn't right. Tired of the noise and confusion, he installed a doorbell camera. He just wanted to catch whoever was doing it, but when he finally saw what the camera recorded, his blood ran cold. In the middle of the night, the hallway remained still, until a man slowly walked into frame. He moved with strange, stiff motions. He slammed doors, again and again. But what was truly unsettling was his face. Blank, calm, as if he wasn't even aware of what he was doing. And then, just as suddenly as he appeared, he turned and walked away, quietly, slowly, like nothing ever happened. Like this was normal. As if this was part of some personal routine we weren't meant to see. When the footage was uploaded online, it didn't take long for the theories to start. Some viewers thought it was revenge, maybe a response to a noise complaint. Others believed it was rage, someone losing control in the dead of night. But there were also darker theories. One that stood out was the idea of sleepwalking, his robotic steps, his lack of reaction, his silence, all signs that maybe he wasn't awake at all. But others weren't convinced. They pointed out that his actions were too controlled, too specific, like he knew exactly what he was doing. Then came the theory that made people stop and think: sundowning, a condition linked to Alzheimer's or dementia, where someone becomes restless and confused at night. But even that didn't fully explain the behavior caught on camera. There was something about his movements, his stare, that felt off in a different way. And just when the story started to fade from the spotlight, something strange happened. A handwritten note appeared on the father's door. It was from the man in the footage. In it, he apologized for his actions. He didn't explain why he did it, just that he was going through a hard time. No names, no details, just vague words and silence. To this day, no one knows what was really going on behind that apartment door. Was it mental illness? Was it something darker? Or was it simply a cry for help that no one saw coming? One thing is clear: the sound of slamming doors wasn't just noise, it was a warning sign, a mystery waiting to be noticed. And it makes you wonder, how many of us are living next to someone carrying a secret they've never spoken aloud?
A mail carrier was just doing her usual work, delivering letters to homes on her route. Everything was in order, and she placed the mail at this one house and walked away. But as soon as she stepped onto the sidewalk, she noticed something and quickly stopped. It's a good thing she was paying attention and wasn't wearing headphones or talking on the phone. If she wasn't alert, she might not have heard the sound of branches breaking nearby.
This next piece of footage has left many people disturbed and confused. It's a trail cam capture, quiet, still, and isolated, taken deep in the woods by a man who wanted answers. The caption reads, "Woodsman captures a bizarre figure on camera." But what exactly was caught that remains uncertain. The man who set up the trail cam did so for a reason. Over the course of several nights, he had discovered multiple coyotes on his property, all of them dead and mutilated. Not just attacked, but torn apart in a way that felt calculated, deliberate. He knew something was out there, something that wasn't behaving like a normal predator. So he placed a trail camera in the same area, hidden, watching, waiting. And one night, it caught something. A figure, blurry, but distinct enough to raise alarm. The uploader shared the clip with a single question: "Skinwalker?" That was all. No explanations. Just raw, unnerving footage of something moving through the darkness. What's captured is strange. It doesn't walk. It moves in leaps. Its shape is hard to define, almost like it's shifting. Not quite human, not quite animal. Its limbs bend in unnatural ways. For a moment it vanishes into the shadows, only to reappear, gliding past the edge of the camera's view. Just long enough to be seen, not long enough to understand. The reactions have been divided. One commenter wrote, "That's super odd moving, and for once, doesn't look like CGI." Another simply called it a skinwalker. But not everyone agrees. Some suggested it was just a kangaroo or even an ostrich. Creatures not native to the area, but possible, in theory. Still, the motion feels wrong, too smooth, too fluid, like something pretending to be something else. The way it passes through the frame, silent, fast, unbothered, feels less like wildlife and more like a warning. Even the uploader admits, "I don't know what this thing is. Could this truly be a cryptid, something supernatural? Or is it just a strange coincidence captured by chance?" The truth is, we may never know. But whatever was out there, it had already killed.
and this might have been the only time it allowed itself to be seen. So, what do you think? Was it just an animal, or something far more disturbing? On the night of February 6th, 2025, something strange moved across a quiet, isolated farm in El Salvador. The footage comes from a Twitter user named Truthpole. It was taken from a security camera on the property, one that usually watches over empty fields, livestock, and silence. But that night, the camera captured something else, something it wasn't meant to see. In the grainy black and white recording, a faint, transparent shape moves slowly across the screen. It doesn't walk like a person. It doesn't float like mist. It simply drifts. The shape is tall, almost human, but the body is hollow, like it's only half there. And it's not just the shape that sends chills. The farm's dogs, usually calm, begin to panic. Their barking is sharp, frantic. They pace in circles, their bodies tense, their ears locked in the direction of the invisible threat. It's as if they see something we can't. The dogs don't stop, even when the figure vanishes. The video quickly spread, finding its way to Reddit's high strangeness community. People from around the world watched and debated. Skeptics pointed to logic. They said it could be a glitch, a mix of low light, poor resolution, frame drops, or an insect caught flying too close to the lens. All possible, all familiar, all explainable. But there was one thing they couldn't explain: the dogs. Their reaction was real. It was immediate. And it didn't match a bug or a blur. It matched fear. Deep, instinctive fear. Some viewers believe animals are sensitive to things humans can't sense. Things beyond sound, beyond sight, maybe even beyond reason. If that's true, what did these dogs see? No one has come forward with a solid answer. There's no clear evidence of a hoax, no follow-up, no confession, just a quiet farm, a flickering shadow, and animals who knew something was wrong. And now we're left with a question we may never answer. What really walked across that farm? And why were the dogs the only ones who knew it was there?
This security camera footage was recorded in East Texas on July 7, 2019, at 9:32 p.m. The camera is pointed at the back patio of a house. At first, everything looks calm and normal. But if you look closely at the road in the background, lit by a single streetlight, something very strange appears. A pale, skinny figure with very long arms walks into view from the darkness. Its arms are so long they touch the ground as it moves. The way this figure walks is strange. It's bent over and uses its arms like legs. Because of how it moves and looks, some people think it might be something like a forest creature. Others believe it could be another kind of unknown animal or strange figure. No matter what, the video is very creepy and strange. And because the figure is far from the camera, we can't clearly see what it is, which makes it even more mysterious. Even the person who owns the house isn't sure what they saw, but they are certain that it wasn't anything normal. Whatever it was, it left them very confused, and maybe even a little scared.
For those of you waiting, this one's for you. Reports of the dogman have circulated for years. Sightings scattered across remote forests, dark highways, and quiet farmlands. But in recent months, these sightings had gone quiet, almost like whatever was out there had gone into hiding. Until now, a new image has surfaced. Strange, distorted. The photo is overexposed and grainy, almost damaged, but not beyond recognition. According to the Post, this image came from a motion-triggered trail camera, mounted low, close to the ground. Not a video, just a single still, frozen in time. And what it captured has stirred fear and fascination. The exact location was never revealed. The time, also unknown. All we know is that it came from deep within the woods, the kind of place where cell service dies and silence becomes overwhelming. In the background, faint shadows suggest something else, a light source, likely from a motion-activated floodlight. Maybe someone's backyard, maybe someone's last night of peace. Now imagine that, checking your camera the next morning and seeing this. The creature in the image appears unnaturally muscular, with thick, sinewy arms and a broad chest. Its posture is tense, like it's ready to lunge. The light catches its face. Two glowing eyes, round and sharp, locked directly at the lens. Its teeth, long, curved, animalistic. But its expression? Almost human. And that's what makes it worse. The dogman may seem like a modern legend, but creatures like this have haunted human stories for thousands of years. In ancient Greece and Rome, they spoke of cynocephaly, dog-headed men who lived at the edge of the world. In medieval Europe, they became werewolves. In Native American legends, they were shapeshifters, skinwalkers, spirits with the power to become wolves. The creature in this photo feels like something pulled straight from those ancient fears. Some cryptozoologists suggest this could be a flesh and blood species, hiding in the deep woods, avoiding civilization. Others believe it's something else entirely, something not meant to be found, something that reveals itself only when it chooses. Of course, the skeptics are already speaking. Some claim the image is digitally altered. Others say it's AI generated. But if that's true, why does it feel so real? Why does it look like something we've always feared? Something our ancestors described long before we had cameras to capture it. So now the question remains, is this just another internet hoax? Or did someone truly catch a glimpse of the dogman, watching, waiting, just beyond the edge of the trees?